Today we are going to start our new chapter, reaching the age of adolescence. Okay, so in the previous chapter you have learned how animals reproduce. It is only after growing up to a certain age that human beings and many other animals can reproduce. Why can humans reproduce only after a certain age? Okay, this is because after a certain age they attain the reproductive maturity. Okay, that's why after reaching to a certain stage or certain age, humans can be reproduced. So in this chapter, you will learn about changes that take place in the human body after which a person becomes capable of reproduction. Okay, so in chapter 9, you have learned about human reproductive organs. Here we shall discuss the role that hormones play in bringing about changes that make a child grow into an adult. Okay, so, adolescence and puberty. First thing is at adolescence and puberty, Bujo was celebrating his 12th birthday. Okay, after his friends felt Pujo and Paheli began chatting with their parents. Paheli studies in an all girls school. Okay, she started laughing. She remarked that many Bujo's school friends whom she met after a year had suddenly shot up in height. Some of them were looking very funny with a hairy line above their lips. Her mother explained that the boys had grown up. Okay, so mosaic started going up. It means so growth begins from the day one is born. Okay, whenever a newborn child, if you see, okay, so it's continuously start growing. But upon crossing the age of 10 or 11, there is a sudden spurt, okay, in growth which becomes noticeable. Okay, spurt means suddenly. Okay, it occurs some changes which you can notice easily. Okay, the changes taking place in the body are part of growing up. They indicate that you are growing up. Okay, is a natural process. Okay, you are no longer a child now, but are the on the way of becoming an adult. Okay, so after the age of 12th, I wonder how long this period marked by changes in the body will last. Okay, so Bujo was just wondering about this, that these changes, okay, in the body, for which time it will be last. So Paheli said that it is a strange period of life when you are neither a child nor an adult. I wonder whether this period between childhood and adulthood had a special name. Okay, so now Paheli said that he thinking about this, that this is a very strange period, okay, where you are not a child, not an adult, and this is a, period between the childhood and adulthood, and it also had some name. So growing up is a natural process, the period of life when the body undergoes changes leading to reproductive maturity is called adolescence. Okay, so the period of life when the body undergoes changes leading to reproductive maturity is called adolescence. So this is the definition of adolescence. Adolescence begins around the age of 11, okay, and start up to 18 or 19 years of age. Okay, so if you see that the adolescence begins around the age of 11 and lasts up to 18 or 19 years of age. Since this period covers the teens, okay, 13 to 18 or 19 years of life, as we also read in last week, that adolescence may begin a year or two earlier than in boys. Okay, so that's why this adolescent is also called as teenagers. Okay, because mainly it occur between 13 to 19. That's why you're known as the teenagers. In girls, adolescence may begin a year or 2 year earlier than boys. Also, the period of adolescence varies from person to person. Okay, it is varies from person to person also. Then we know about the puberty. What is puberty? The human body undergoes several changes during adolescence. These changes mark the onset of puberty. Okay, so the human body undergoes several changes. Okay, about them in detail you will be learn after this topic. Okay, in this chapter, this is whole chapter about this. So there are some changes which occur, okay, during the period of adolescence. These changes mark the onset of puberty. The most important change which mark puberty is that boys and girls become capable of reproduction. Okay, puberty ends when an adolescent reaches reproductive maturity. So puberty when ends when an adult or when an adolescent. Okay, so whenever it is a boy or girl adolescent reaches reproductive maturity, then its puberty will be stopped. Okay, or ends. Paheli and Bujo realized that sudden increase in height and hairy line above the lips in boys were sign of adolescence. They want to know more about other changes in puberty. Okay, so these are changes which you can actually see very often, that increase in height and hairy line above the lips in boys were a sign of adolescence. Okay, so there are some other changes also. So what are the changes in girls and boys which occur during the period of puberty? So first thing is increase in height. Okay, the most conspicuous change during puberty is the sudden increase in height. At this time, the long bones, that is, the bones of the arms and the legs, elongate and make a person tall. Okay, if you see the ninth and 10th students, okay, if you someone your brothers or sisters, okay, so you can see them, they grow suddenly tall. Okay, their uh, bones are growing. Okay, and arms, so you can see them that they are growing suddenly. So this is also a change, increase in height. Then activity 10.1, what described, the following chart gives the average rate of growth in height of boys and girls with age. Okay, so this is a chart which are given here. Okay, so this is an average thinking about chart. First we read about it, then see on the chart. The figures in column 2 and 3 give the percentage of the height a person has reached at the age given in column first. For example, by the reach of 11, a boy has reached 81% of his probable full height, while a girl has reached 88% of her full height. These figures are only representative. Okay, these are only representative, and there may be individual variation also. So use the table for your friends and work out how tall they are likely to be. Find out who is likely to be the tallest and who might be the shortest in your class. Okay, so if you see this table, uh, age in years. Okay, so when a boy in the age of 8, okay, it reaches its height up to 72%. Okay, we are taking in the terms of percentage every time. So percentage means from 100. Okay, percentage whenever we take, you read about it on mathematics. Okay, so whenever we talk about percentage, it means it's from 100. So from 100%, when a boy is in the age of 8, it reaches its height of 72%. So you can understand that how much it can be tall after that. Okay, girls whereas increase a little bit more, it is about 5% more, 77%. Okay, like this in class ninth, boys reach their height at 75% and girls 81%. Okay, in 10th 78%, and in 10 years in 78% and 84. In 11 these are going to 81 and 88. Okay, so in 12 years and it so on, if you see till 18 years, okay, so mainly the height will be increased till 18 years. So a boy and girl individually get their maximum height at the age of 18 years. Okay, so note is already given there that it's specific to individual, and some are due to their genetics. Okay, so the height is totally depend on genetics of your parents also. Okay, so then you can understand that how tall can you be after this. Calculation for full height. Okay, in centimeter how we can calculate. So present height. Okay, suppose your present height in some around 100 or 110 centimeter. Okay, so then you have to percentage of full height at this age. Okay, suppose your age is 12 years. Okay, so you can easily calculate as, suppose your height in 110 centimeter, then you have to multiply with 100. Okay, so you will be get your a real height, which would be at the age of 18. Okay, so example also given. A boy is 9 years old and 120 centimeter tall. At the end of the growth period, he is likely to be, okay, 120 upon 75, because if you see the percentage, okay, in 9 years a boy will attain his height of 75%. So we take the value of 75 here. So when you calculate it, it would be 160 centimeter tall at the age of 18 years. Okay, so like this you can also calculate your height. Then there is another activity. Okay, use the data given in activity 10.1 to draw a graph. Now you have to draw a graph. Take age on the x-axis and percent growth in height on the y-axis. Highlight the point representing your age on the graph. Find out the percentage of height you have already reached. Okay, calculate the height you might eventually reach. Then tally your graph. Okay, then you have to tally your graph with one given here. If you see, there is a graph which is given for boys and girls separately. So graph is showing percentage of height with age. Okay, it is same thing which is you see on the table. Okay, in 8 years, by graph you can easily understand that if a boy has the 8 years. Okay, then if you see the graph, yes, this represent boys. Okay, the boys is attain that much height. Okay, and a girl is that much height. So 75% approx and 80% approx, the girls will be height 8 years, 9 years, then for 10, 11, so on. So initially girls grow faster than boys. If you see, initially girls usually grow faster than boys. Okay, by about 18 years of age both reach their maximum height, but at the last, okay, they will be reached at the same height of their age, according to their age. The rate of growth in height varies in different individuals. The rate of height also varies. Some may grow suddenly at puberty and then slow down, while others may grow gradually. Okay, it means not that whose height is not up to the mark till now, so its height also increasing till 18 years from all of you. Then I am worried, though I have become taller, my face looks much smaller compared to my body. Okay, so Pahli is just thinking about it, that he had a worry about it that I have become taller. अगर मैं बड़ी हो गई तो my face looks much smaller, जो है चेहरा जो है छोटा दिखेगा. ठीक है, अगर मेरी बॉडी के हिसाब से देखा जाए. So there is no need for Pahli to worry. So answer is here. Okay, she has to no worry because all parts of the body do not grow at the same rate. Sometimes the arms and legs or hands and feet of adolescents look oversized and out, okay, of proportion with the body, but soon the other parts catch up and result in a proportionate way. Okay, after you can see that you can match up these things with your elders, brothers or sisters. So you can know you are not thinking about their difference, so much difference in their body. So you must have noticed that height of an individual is more or less similar to that of some family member. This is because height depends on the genes inherited from parents. Okay, so this is the main thing. So if someone is so much taller and he has to not think about worry about it, and someone which is not to that much height, okay, it's not your fault that it is a genetic. Okay, it is mainly genetic genes inherited from parents. So it is, however, very important to eat the right kind of food during these growing years. Okay, so for you, this is very important to gain the such type of food which is contain the balanced diet. This helps the bones, muscles, and other parts of the body get adequate nourishment for growth. You will find nutritional needs of adolescent discussed later in the lesson. Okay, so we will discuss about in the later. So first question is define adolescence. So how can you define adolescence? So the answer is this: the period of life when the body undergoes changes leading to reproductive maturity is called adolescence. Adolescents should be careful about what they eat because who can give the answer? So the right answer is second one. Proper diet is needed for the rapid growth taking place in their body. Okay, because arms and your bones mainly need much more nutrition. Yes, now we have to read about the change in body shape also. So have you noticed that boys in your class have broader shoulders and wider chest than boys in junior classes? Okay, this is because they have entered the age of puberty when shoulders generally broaden as a result of growth. In girls, the region below the waist become wider. In boys, the muscles of the body grow more prominently than in the girls. Okay, thus change occurring in adolescent boys and girls are different. Okay, so there is so much difference in the changes of girls and boys which occur during adolescence. Then next is voice change also. Did you notice that sometimes the voice of some of the boys in your class cracks? Okay, at puberty the voice box or the larynx begins to grow. Okay, as you grow yeah, and pass out this adolescent, the voice of boys become very cracks, or you can say that harsh language. Okay, harsh voice, but no, girls' voice becomes softer. So at puberty, the voice box or the larynx begins to grow. Boys develops larger voice boxes. Okay, the growing voice box in boys can be seen as a protruding part. Okay, of the throat, as called the Adam's apple. Sometimes this question also asked. Okay, so it is called as the Adam's apple. So in girls, the larynx is hardly visible from the outside because of its small size. Okay, you can also understand it. So generally, girls have a high pitched voice, whereas boys have a deep voice. In adolescent boys, sometimes the muscles of the growing voice box uh, go out of control and the voice become hoarse. Okay, very harsh language, harsh voice. So this state may remain for a few days or weeks, after which the voice become normal. Okay, in the age of adolescence sometimes it occurs. So if you see the figure also given here, that it is the Adam's apple. Okay, because it is somehow if you say in somehow is increasing in size. Okay, if you compare with girls. So Bhujo was said that many of my classmates have a harsh voice. No, I know now I know why. Okay, now he understand it. Next thing is increased activity of sweat and sebaceous glands. During puberty, the secretion of sweat glands and sebaceous glands, these are called oil glands, okay, increasing mainly sweat glands, okay. And if you see the sebaceous glands, these are called. So many young people get acne, okay, and pimples on the face at this time, okay, because of the increased activities of these glands in the skin, okay. So it's not a worry case. Many students just worried about it and use many other other medicines and other things. So you have to not use that type of things. So a few glands such as sweat glands, oil glands, and salivary glands release their secretions through ducts. Okay, endocrine glands release hormones so directly into the bloodstream. Okay, now we will be read about the endocrine gland and exocrine gland. Okay, so they are termed as ductless gland. Okay, so endocrine glands are ductless gland because they are just release their hormones directly into the bloodstream. They have no duct like structure, okay, for passing out the hormones. This is a note for you to understand the thing, okay. So the development of sex organs we will read in next week.